That bucket of kitchen scraps in your sink is worth more than the bag of feed sitting in your coop. I know that sounds crazy, but stick with me. Because the coffee grounds, the melon rinds, the wilted lettuce, the eggshells, they aren't garbage. They're raw protein waiting to be unlocked. And the tiny insect that unlocks it, the Black Soldier Fly Larva, is one of the most powerful, cheapest, and most ignored feed sources on the planet. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to turn your household waste into a self-renewing supply of high-protein chicken food. No feed bill, no middleman, no hidden ingredients. Just free protein, on repeat, straight from your kitchen counter. Let's be honest about what's really happening at the feed store. A 50-pound bag of layer feed that cost you around $15 5 years ago now runs $22 to $28 in most of the country. For a small flock of 10 hens, that's roughly $35 to $50 a month vanishing out of your pocket. For a bigger flock, you're staring down $600 to $900 a year just to keep birds laying. And what are you actually paying for? Mostly corn and soy, fillers. Trace protein padded out with synthetic amino acids. You flip the tag over and half the ingredients read like a chemistry textbook. Meanwhile, the protein number on that bag hovers around 16 to 18%. That's it. That's what you're funding with your grocery money. At the same time, the average American household throws out roughly a pound of kitchen scraps every single day. Some studies put the number even higher. That's around 300 to 400 pounds of usable calories per household per year going straight into a landfill. You are literally paying twice, once to bring food into your house, once to buy feed while the leftovers rot in the trash. That math doesn't work for a homesteader, and there is a better way. Here's the part nobody tells you. Chickens are not vegetarians. They never were. Every farmer 100 years ago knew this. Grandma tossed scraps behind the barn, and the flies that came in did the dirty work. The hens picked through what was left and turned bugs, grubs, and larvae into eggs. That was the system. It was quiet, it was cheap, and it worked. Then commercial agriculture arrived and rewrote the rules. Big feed companies needed a product they could bag, ship, and sell on repeat. Insects don't fit that model. Corn and soy do. So the messaging shifted. Complete feed became the standard, and the free protein flying around every farmyard got erased from the conversation. But the science never went away. Black soldier fly larvae, when dried, contain roughly 40 to 45% protein. That is more than double the protein in your standard layer feed. They're also loaded with lauric acid, calcium, and healthy fats. Researchers at universities from the United States to the Netherlands have studied them for over 2 decades as one of the most efficient protein converters on the planet. Poultry farmers in parts of Africa, Asia, and Europe already use them at scale. In your country, they're still treated like a fringe idea. That's not because they don't work. It's because they threaten a business model. And once you see how simple they are to raise, you'll understand why. Before I show you the 7 ways black soldier flies can cut your feed bill to almost zero, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. This channel is built for homesteaders who want real, working, off-grid solutions, not fluff. Item 1. The protein bomb nature already perfected. The first thing you need to understand is what you're actually feeding when you toss a handful of black soldier fly larvae into your run. You're not feeding a snack, you're feeding a complete protein source. Dried black soldier fly larvae typically run 40 to 45% protein by weight, along with roughly 30 to 35% fat. Compare that to the 16 to 18% protein in a bag of commercial layer feed, and you're looking at more than double the punch, gram for gram. Why does that matter? Because protein drives egg production, feather regrowth during molting, and immune strength. A hen short on protein lays fewer eggs, and those eggs have weaker shells. On my own farm, I noticed within 2 weeks of adding larvae daily that my hens went from streaky, dull feathers to glossy and full. 2 hens that had gone off the lay came back within days. Here's the practical part. Start by offering a small handful per bird each morning. Watch how fast they inhale them. Then you know they're locked in. But protein is only half the story. Wait until you see what these larvae do with your kitchen trash. Item 2. Free feed from your own trash can. Here is where the magic starts to become obvious. Black soldier fly larvae will eat almost anything organic. Fruit peels, vegetable trimmings, coffee grounds, stale bread, expired grains, meat scraps, fish guts, even manure. Very little is off limits. And they eat fast. Studies show a healthy colony can process roughly twice its own body weight in food waste every single day. Multiple trials have shown reductions of 50 to 80% in the volume of organic waste going into landfills when black soldier fly systems are used. Think about that. Every rotten tomato you were about to compost, every wilted salad in the crisper, every plate scrape from dinner, that's now free feed, converted through a living machine that costs you nothing to run. On my property, I have a 5-gallon bucket-style bioreactor sitting outside the kitchen door. I dump waste in daily. Within 24 hours, the larvae have swarmed it. Within 2 or 3 days, it's gone. To set yours up, get a plastic tote or dedicated bin, drill some ventilation holes, and add a ramp on the inside so mature larvae can crawl out into a collection bucket. That's it. You just cut your kitchen waste and your feed bill at the same time. But there's a smell issue people worry about. Let me handle that next. Item 3. The smell and pest advantage nobody talks about. Most people hear flies and immediately picture a stinking, buzzing nightmare. That's a housefly problem. Black soldier flies are the opposite. Black soldier fly adults do not have functional mouth parts. They cannot bite you. They cannot land on your food. They do not spread disease the way common houseflies do. They live only long enough to mate and lay eggs, usually around a week. Even better, an active black soldier fly larvae colony actually chases houseflies away. The larvae outcompete them for food and produce compounds in their waste that repel housefly egg laying. The other surprise is smell. A properly running bin has a slightly sour, fermented, almost bready odor. It is nothing like rotting garbage. That's because the larvae process the waste so quickly that anaerobic rot never has time to set in. To keep smells minimum, add a thin layer of dry material, sawdust, shredded cardboard, or dry leaves over each fresh dump of scraps. You get free feed, less trash, fewer houseflies, and no odor complaints from the neighbors. I'll be honest with you, I did not want to raise flies. When a neighbor first told me about black soldier flies, I nodded and smiled and made a mental note to never try it. I had 22 laying hens at the time. Feed prices had just jumped again, and I was watching close to $60 a month walk out the door in the form of one bag after another. But raising insects on purpose? That wasn't the homestead I had pictured. Then a bad winter hit. Feed spiked. Eggs slowed. I got desperate. I built the ugliest bioreactor you have ever seen. An old plastic storage tote, some drilled holes, a piece of scrap wood as a ramp, and a bucket underneath. Total cost? About $7. I seeded it with larvae I ordered online and started dumping in scraps. For the first 2 weeks, I thought it wasn't working. Then one morning I lifted the lid and the bin was alive. Thousands of larvae working through last night's dinner scraps like a paid crew. Within a month, my hens were getting a daily protein boost for free. My egg count climbed noticeably, though I'll be careful and say the shells were the real change. Thicker, harder, easier to handle without cracks. My feed bill dropped by roughly a third almost immediately. I went from skeptic to full convert in about 6 weeks. Now I run 3 bins year-round, and I would not go back. Item 4. The calcium secret for rock-hard eggshells. Black soldier fly larvae are one of the only insects that naturally carry a strong calcium profile. Most feeder insects, like mealworms and crickets, have poor calcium to phosphorus ratios. Black soldier fly larvae flip that pattern. That matters for laying hens because a hen's shell is roughly 95% calcium carbonate. Every egg pulls calcium out of her body. If she doesn't get enough, she pulls from her bones. Her shell's thin, and eventually she stops laying. You can feed all the oyster shell you want, but if the base diet is off, she'll still struggle. Larvae give her a natural, absorbable calcium source packaged inside a protein delivery system. 2 problems solved with 1 handful. To use this benefit fully, feed larvae in the late morning once your hens have already laid, so the calcium is going toward tomorrow's egg, not today's. Roughly 10 to 15% of daily intake as larvae is a good target for laying hens. Stronger shells mean fewer breakages, longer storage, and healthier chicks if you're hatching. That's real money and real quality straight from your kitchen scraps. Item 5. Breeding your own self-sustaining colony. Here is where you stop buying larvae forever. A black soldier fly's life cycle is fast. Egg to adult usually takes around 40 to 45 days, depending on temperature. That means once you seed a bin and let some larvae complete the full cycle, you have a self-renewing colony. In warm climates, an outdoor bin can run year-round. Adult flies find the bin, lay eggs, and the cycle repeats without any intervention from you. In cooler climates, you'll want to overwinter a portion of the colony indoors, usually in a heated garage or basement bin at around 75 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit. To encourage breeding, leave a section of the bin dry and cardboard lined. Adult females prefer to lay eggs in dry cracks near a moist food source, not directly on the food. That's why cardboard corrugation makes the perfect egg-laying strip. Every 40 to 45 days, you get a new generation. The mature larvae, called prepupae, self-harvest by crawling up the ramp and dropping into your collection bucket. You literally do nothing but empty the bucket. That's not farming. That's a machine. The next benefit is one people don't even realize they need. Item 6. Storing larvae for a winter feed backup. One of the biggest homestead vulnerabilities is winter. Bugs disappear, greens die back, and hens go back to being fully dependent on your feed budget. Black soldier flies solve that too, if you plan for it. Excess larvae harvested during the productive months can be preserved for winter feeding in 3 easy ways. You can freeze them in freezer bags for up to a year. You can dehydrate them at around 140 degrees Fahrenheit until they are crunchy and shelf-stable. Or you can bake them in the oven at low heat for the same effect. Dried larvae store in a sealed jar in your pantry for 12 months or more. That means during peak scrap season in summer and fall, you're not just feeding today's hens, you're stocking the pantry for January. I aim for at least 15 to 20 pounds of dried larvae stored per 10 hens going into winter. That single stockpile can offset roughly a third to half of your cold weather feed spending. Free summer protein banked for the coldest months of the year. That's real food security. The last benefit almost nobody mentions. Here's the last benefit almost nobody mentions. The waste left behind after larvae process your scraps, called frass, is one of the richest natural soil amendments you can get. Frass is loaded with nitrogen, chitin, and beneficial microbes. Chitin from the larvae's exoskeletons and shed skins actually triggers plants' natural pest defense systems. Studies have shown insect frass can boost plant growth and improve resistance to pests and disease when used as a soil amendment or tea. So now the cycle looks like this: kitchen scraps in, larvae out for the chickens, frass out for the garden, vegetables come back to the kitchen. Rinse and repeat. You just closed one of the tightest, most efficient loops on your entire homestead. From one bin, you feed your birds, fertilize your soil, and reduce your waste stream to almost zero. That is real self-sufficiency, and it costs you nothing to run once it's built. Now, let me save you months of frustration by walking you through the biggest mistakes I see homesteaders make with black soldier flies. Mistake number 1: overfeeding the bin. Beginners dump in every scrap they generate and drown the larvae in wet food. The bin turns anaerobic, smells foul, and larvae die. Feed only what the colony can process in 24 to 48 hours. Start small and scale up as the population grows. Mistake number 2: making the bin too wet. Black soldier fly larvae thrive in a moist, not soggy environment. If you're dumping in watermelon rinds and coffee grounds all day, add dry cardboard, sawdust, or dry leaves to balance moisture. Standing liquid is a warning sign. Mistake number 3: feeding larvae as the entire diet. As high protein as they are, larvae are not a complete feed. They are a supplement. Aim for roughly 10 to 15% of a laying hen's daily intake. Balance with grain, greens, calcium, and grit. Mistake number 4: forgetting temperature. Black soldier fly larvae become sluggish below 60 degrees Fahrenheit and can die in freezing conditions. If you run a bin year-round in a cold climate, insulate it, move it indoors, or plan a winter stockpile of dried larvae. Mistake number 5: skipping the ramp. Without a self-harvest ramp, mature larvae have no way out. You'll be stuck sorting by hand. A simple angled board built into the bin does all the work for you. Avoid these 5 and your bin will run on autopilot. Picture your homestead 1 year from now. Your feed bill is a fraction of what it used to be. Your hens are healthier, glossier, and laying eggs with shells you can barely crack open one-handed. Your kitchen trash bag goes out half as often. Your garden soil is darker, richer, and more productive. And the whole system is being powered by scraps that used to rot in a landfill. That is the real prize here, not just cheaper eggs. Freedom. Freedom from the feed store, freedom from the price hikes, freedom from the anxiety that hits every time gas goes up and you know feed is next. Black soldier flies are one of the few tools on a homestead that pay you back forever with almost no ongoing input. Once the colony is established, you are not renting food from a corporation. You are producing it on your own land, out of your own waste. That is what self-sufficiency actually looks like. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's the biggest chunk of kitchen waste in your house right now? Coffee grounds, vegetable peels, meat scraps? I read every comment and I'll tell you exactly how to turn it into feed. If this video opened your eyes, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss the next one. Because next week, I'm breaking down the 3 plants you can grow around your coop that produce their own free chicken feed all summer long, and one of them will completely surprise you. Your homestead is closer to full food independence than you think. Start with 1 bin, feed 1 scrap, and watch the whole system change. I'll see you in the next one.